Welcome to episode 63 of the MailleWerX Chainmail Livestreams. We're live. Gotta do the share. Hey Barb, how you doing? Thanks for the like. I think that was you. Maybe it was my share. I don't remember. Alright. Oh, let's see here. There. Thanks for the like, Barb. Appreciate it. That's not what I want. I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. I don't think that's gonna work. All right, where's Frank at? Oh. Ah. I need a new platform for Frank. He's keeps falling over. Give myself some room to work here. There we go. Alright. So let me get set up here. Man, I'm sorry about not being here last night. I ended up working like straight up until. Hi Rachel, how are you? Ended up working until like about 10:30, finishing stuff up. I had a ridiculously busy day. And then today wasn't much better, but I did get some stuff done today that needed to get done. Alright. Which makes me feel much better about other things. Yeah, it was a late night. It really was. One of those, everybody had problems that needed to be addressed. You know how that goes? Alright, where's my pliers? You're doing alright? Work, kids, chainmail stuff, rent fair plan? Sweet. Attempting to organize chaos, yeah? Right there with ya. What did I just do? Alright, is that camera screen shifting for you? Oh. Uh-oh. Okay, did that camera view shift for anyone? Frank was hitting a button here. on the computer. He's not supposed to be doing that. Alright. Organizing chaos, yeah. I finally was able to figure out what kind of power cord I needed. This looks good. Thank you. Can't really see him upside down. Here. Have a look. Have a look, see? I'm pretty happy with how the face has come out so far. You know? Pretty happy. No, I settled on, I figured out actually what power cords I needed and then was able to find them online to purchase them, which is my third purchase to finish products or projects in the last little bit here, so I was pretty happy about that. Closing micro rings for a bit before heading to bed. 5 a.m. comes early. Yep. I try to make sure that I'm in bed by 10:30 or so. I don't get up until 6, but yeah. So I've got dye and sealant coming for the chainmail wine bottle holster to do the leather on that. What was it? I guess I'll have to wait for it to show up. I've trying to remember what the other project was. Nope, that's the wrong one. Dye, power cords, and something else. I guess I'll figure it out what it is when it gets here. You guys are a little far away. This little bright aluminum piece that I'm working on is the edge of the saber as it passes behind his head. It almost looks like part of his neck, but if you look closely you can tell that it is part of a saber and not in fact his neck. And that actually, well, that's gonna have to stay there for now. One of my patients got a puppy. He's got an illness that leaves him bedbound, and his parents got a puppy, but very cute little dog. I don't remember what kind it was, but I got to play with puppies this morning, or a puppy. Which was a nice surprise. Generally, my patients have cats or no pets at all, and I'm deathly allergic to cats, so but the puppy was fun. I don't remember what kind of dog it is, but it's a bird hunting dog. It's got a brown head with a speckled gray body. I don't know. Man, the name of the dog, the name of the type of dog, the breed of dog is on the tip of my tongue, and I cannot think of it right now. Anyway. So, got the work car's oil changed, got my oil changed. That took up a big portion of my day today because I have a credit card for gas and maintenance on the work vehicle, and the place I went to, the Jiffy Lube I went to, just opened like in the last week. And so I don't think the kids that were working there had ever dealt with anyone that had a company card before. Because it took them a long time to get it to work. But they got it done. I went and grabbed my kid and brought the truck back, got that done. So we're supposed to get 3 to 5 inches of snow tomorrow. So I'm hoping we don't have a repeat of last week where we get shut down again. Last week, last Tuesday, I had to stay home with my kid. Because his school closed, right? And I couldn't go see any patients, so I had to reorganize everybody that I was supposed to go see throughout the rest of the week, which made it a ridiculously busy week. Because every day got 2 or 3 more patients than normal. How you doing, Peg? Nice to see you here. Thanks for joining us. Excuse me. So, if my kid's school closes tomorrow, fortunately it's like towards the end of the week, so I don't have that many patients left to see, and it won't be as detrimental to my work week. But I really just want to go get my work done tomorrow, and then finish off the rest of the week without having like a buildup of work. You know what I mean? So I'm crossing my fingers right now. Bunny feet are no longer furiously kicking your ass. You're starting to kick back? Sweet. I'm looking forward to that being done. That's an impressive piece. Just that Easter basket alone is nuts. Right? I mean nuts in the best way possible. Like, it is literally incomprehensible to me how you made that. Well beyond my scope. You know, every day I spend a small amount of time thinking about what I should talk about on stream, you know, and every time I get on stream, I repeatedly forget what I thought about. I should start writing it down. The new beads you found for the toes are really great. Sweet. You're absolutely welcome for the kudos on the basket. Those are very well deserved. Like, I've been doing this for a long time. There's so many other things out there that I never would have thought to do. You know, it's just beyond the limits of my imagination. You know, I think I want. No, we'll leave it like that. Have a good night, Rachel. You kind of do live for male sculpture? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, I do bottle wraps. I wrap stuff, right? That's been my shtick. I think I've done some pretty good bottle wraps over the years. Everybody's got their thing. You know, a lot of people start out and they want to make everything, you know? And not to be like a negative Nancy or anything, but a lot of the times it doesn't serve them well to have done to do that, right? Not that I didn't start out early on and make a bunch of mistakes. Like, I don't know, making a European 6-in-1 galvanized steel chainmail shirt that is unwearable and stinks to high heaven, right? It's like I wrote an article about, like, so you want to make a chainmail shirt, and like the first thing I says is, the first paragraph says to not make a chainmail shirt. It's like, so you want to, don't. Do this instead. You know, I mean, it can be a person's first project, but they're a pretty massive undertaking. Speaking of shirts, I would not normally do this, especially considering how busy I am. But I accepted a commission on a shirt. I have no idea how I'm gonna get this done. And a coif, and a collared coif, hooded coif. So I've got some measurements. I'm gonna figure out how many rings I'll think I need, and then let him know my price, and we'll move forward from there. But I would not typically make a shirt for like Joe Schmo off the street or someone I didn't know, but this is a friend of mine. He's big into the Ren Fair. He runs one of the groups, and it's like, this is well within my skill level. And yeah, there may be other people I could send him to, but it's like, I want it done right for him. So I have taken it upon myself to make a shirt for someone else. Alright, I think we've heard this song 3 times now, so we're gonna go back to something else. Sorry, that was getting annoying. You started... Okay. You don't know what... You would love to do more sculptures, but you don't know where to begin? Yeah. Can't help you there. Started with simple forms, balls, cubes. Never done a ball, I've done a cube. None of my cubes have really worked out well though. Oh, and then of course I have Another idea. Do you remember the interwoven Byzantine hexagon coffee cup wrap? If you don't, that's okay. I only mention it because I have another Byzantine design I want to use. I want to try and make work on a wrap, but I want to do it in relatively small rings, like 20 gauge 1/8 or smaller. Then start looking at structural weaves, captive, inverted round, borealis. I don't even know what that one, J4-in-1. And then figuring out how to put them all together. There was one guy who did a lot of captive inverted round, and he made pyramids out of them. Long time ago. I don't even know who it was, but those were some pretty cool structural pieces. And then Chainmail Basket made a bunch of structural stuff. The ability to hold themselves up, right? Like, if you set captive inverted round on its end, it should stand up if it's made tightly enough. Or with like J4-in-1, it can. Right? This is a bad example, but you know, you could expand this out to build, you know, a wall or whatever. Okay, now where to start with this? I think this helmet is too short, but I don't know by how much. So we're gonna find that out now. Weaves that are at the low end of the aspect ratio, you get stiff weave without much flex. Yeah. So we'll start at the top of the helmet and then work our way down the sides. And then once the helmet is done, we can work on the sabers. And before you know it, we'll be spelling out raiders at the bottom. Making it into a rectangle, calling it a day, shipping it off. One day, someday soon. Don't run away. Don't get mad, get glad. Borealis is your #1 go-to structural weave. The basket is Borealis with the CR. Okay, I know what Borealis is now. I've never made it, but like, I think I know what weave you're talking about, is all. Oh, I remember what the other thing I ordered was. Okay. I ordered some of the engineered plastic rings from TRL. To finish off the whale mail inlay. So that, power cords, and dye and sealant from Tandy for the wine bottle holster, and that will get us some much needed supplies to work on other stuff. Come on. And then I need some resin or an epoxy. I don't know which one I need. I don't really know the properties of either of them. I tried asking a group of people that work with them, and like nobody responded to my question. So I'm still at a loss. I think I can just fill it with some epoxy and it'll be good. I don't know if I've talked about this at all. Maybe I have. I have this, come on, come here. I have this hefty get back whip I got from Masterlink's Mail, and this skull is too light, so I want to put some putty in the holes here on the sides of the skull. Right, you can see my finger through there. There's no holes behind the eyes, but on either side of the skull. Right, so we'll fill these with putty, okay? Put the epoxy or resin in there and like let it dry, let it set, and then that should weigh it down heavily enough to not fly around while I'm writing. So I still need to order that, but I have ordered enough stuff for the moment. I gotta make sure all the rest of my bills get paid. No, but it was nice. It's nice to get caught up on some stuff. It's like I had, like, with all the admissions my company gave us down here last week, I had a bunch of overtime, so that helped out. I'm not a big fan of overtime, but I like the way it pays. Alright. It's enough off of there. Let's figure out how many rows up we need to go. Good night, Barb. Is that a shot glass so you can drink shots from the skull of your enemy? It could be. It very well could be. We were discussing that. There is a couple things I want to do with resin and chainmail, and someone in one of the knife groups I'm a part of posted a resin handle they had made with what, I don't know, like a burlap sack kind of material, right? They took burlap and soaked it in resin. I guess kind of how they, like how they make carbon fiber. Hey Kat, how you doing? And then they saw it in half, put it on either side of a knife blade and polish it up, right? So what I want to do is take some chainmail, right, soak it in resin, you know, like pour resin over the top of it to make a block that I can shape into a handle, and then cut it in half and put it on either side of a knife and make a chainmail handle for a knife. I think that would be cool. So I want to try my hand at that. One day we'll have a forge and we'll bang on hot metal and we will successfully make some kind of knife. And when I say we, I mean like me and my son. And then when we get good enough, we'll try a resin micarta chainmail handle. One day. And then the other is to take a little, like a shot glass basket thing, and then make a mold to pour some resin around and make a chainmail shot glass out of it. You spent all day at the mechanic and get to go back in the morning to finish your darn car repair. Otherwise, it was a good day. I spent a lot of time at Jiffy Lube, kind of mechanic-like. They rotated the tires on my truck, which they're new tires, so. Oh, and I mean, I got an oil change too, but. And who doesn't like cats? I'm not their biggest fan, I'm gonna be honest. Like, if I wasn't allergic to them, yeah, sure. I'd like them more than I do. They're fine for other people to have. They're cute to look at and they do funny things. All right. We're just gonna go straight up here. Oh, what am I doing? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Silly me. I put the bright aluminum where the dull, dirty aluminum goes for the helmet. No good deed goes unpunished. Gotta take it out because it, despite it, you know, it'll all be the same color one day. It was a poor decision to try and use bright aluminum and not bright aluminum, I guess. Did I do it over here too? I did. Okay, I can't. No, these look okay. Alright, we're gonna move the bright aluminum away from me for a moment. Just put this away for a while. That was a silly mistake. Oh, man. Why did this project take so long? Oh, I don't know. I spent the whole time rebuilding it. I've made a lot of progress. Thank you. It's coming along. Finish the face. Maybe a little more tweaking to it, but we're gonna move on to other elements of the piece and try and get those situated. So that one day we can, you know, finish it. It won't be the best rendition of a Chainmail Raiders flag, but you know what? It'll be pretty good, especially for freehanding it, which I 100% regret. Like, if you freehand an 8-bit character, fine, you know, and you're making like a 2-inch square, out of 18 gauge 5/32 rings. You could probably knock that out pretty easily. But this was a bit more than I was prepared to handle 10 years ago when I started it. Longer than that. How long ago? Okay, let's see here. Oh, 2005, 2006-ish is when this would have been started. And that's where we had the first, you know, we had this much here. This much was done. And after that I couldn't move past my own insecurities in order to work on it. Right. I completely could have done it then had I sat down and thought about it and forced myself to work on it. But I did other things instead and let this sit there because I had this irrational thought process going on in my head from failing at it. The struggle had become difficult. So I quit working on this project for what is now 15 years. So I'm gonna give it to my friend and he's gonna be like, yeah, I totally forgot about this. I had no idea. I'm just gonna tell him and be like, yeah, I finished this up 15 years ago and forgot to give it to you. Just lie through my teeth. No, I'll tell him. I will. I think he's got another kid on the way too. So I'm very happy for him. It's been a hot minute since I talked to him. Should give him a call. I need to give a couple people a call, you know? You got those people you gotta call. I gotta call my dad. I gotta call my grandma. And that's it. Oh, and my brother. I gotta talk to my brother too. So. Try and do that for this weekend. Because my brother lives in Japan and my family is back in Idaho. You want to do an inlay, your struggle is what to make? Well, go on what is it? I mean, you can search the chainmail group for inlay design ideas and kind of get a thought of what you want to make. And then, and this is just my recommendation, I don't recommend doing what I'm doing, right? I am freehanding this inlay, which is a pretty tall order for anyone with as big as this inlay is going to end up. It's much larger than I originally anticipated. And had I known that, I could have prevented the delay of the completion of this inlay by a lot had I just done some prep work, like used the inlay grid pattern to make the inlay. Excuse me. Or someone mentioned stitch fiddle the other day, so I'm gonna check that out if I do any more inlays after the inlay after this one, right? Will also be free-handed. So, but I should not have done things that way. And okay, after the next inlay, we'll move to doing all the prep work, all the proper prep work for an inlay. That way, when someone says, you know, I don't know how to do an inlay, or I don't know what to make, or whatever, I have a better idea of how to, of what to recommend to them. Does that make sense? Okay, so we gotta take a look at this. Now, in the picture, right, let's try and, that's the whole piece, right? And you can see that the helmet is too small. I'm going to show you the picture here. That helmet pops up off his head pretty high, right? So I'm thinking I need to add like 2 more rows up here and then go down, which is going to be interesting considering how many rings I have left. I don't really want to order more rings for this project, but I will if I have to. I've sworn off buying more rings for the time being, but I figure if it's to finish a project I'm working on, it's fine. That seems like a reasonable compromise. Man, oh wow, we're at 42 minutes already. Maybe we can finish up these next 2 rows. We'll see. I think you should definitely try an inlay. They're fun. Definitely mount them. I made that mistake early on too, not making a way for the inlay to be mounted to a wall to be displayed. So I did like the Texas Longhorns one, the Green Bay Packers, University of Michigan, and I didn't have a way to mount them so that they could be hung on a wall, right? And going back, I really wish I would have like thought that through. One thing you could do that I would like to do is make a bunch of small pieces of an inlay, all like the same ring size and whatnot, with different designs you like on them, and then put them together into a much larger inlay. You'll make sure to remember that tip. Well, you know, take all my tips with a grain of salt. I'm far from being an expert at this. But, you know, it might be helpful. So, there's a couple of like just little designs that would be quick inlays. I would love to throw all into one inlay, but that's for later. That's not going to happen anytime soon. Just the fact that I have gotten through as many large projects in 60 sessions, right, gives me hope for the remainder of what is in my basement, right? I expect you made a few inlays with cross-stitch patterns. An inlay quilt. Yeah, cross-stitch patterns are almost a one-to-one, a lot of them, for like a European 4-in-1 inlay. That was another mistake I made. This is European 6-in-1. It works, but it makes everything more difficult, right? The ratio is not a 1-to-1 ratio. And by 1-to-1 ratio, I mean 1 ring per 1 pixel, right? It would be a whole lot easier if it was. And I would not use 18 gauge 1/4 inch rings. I would use 18 gauge 5/32 rings. But I mean, you can make an inlay out of any sheet pattern. Japanese 12-2, hoodoo hex, you know, so on and so forth. If you've got the rings to make the weave and they're different colors or different metals, you know, you can make an inlay out of it. It doesn't have to be just European 4-in-1 or European 6-in-1. So, but like I was saying, we've gotten this far in 63 episodes. Tonight is the 63rd show, the 63rd chainmail stream, and which, you know, I'm very happy about having gotten that much done. But yeah, the amount of work that has gotten done in just those 60 episodes, I will have almost no projects by the end of the year to finish up down here. Maybe even before. And a lot of that is going to depend on how quickly I can get this shirt I was commissioned to do. It's going to be... It's more of a coat. It's one of those chainmail shirts with the buckles in the front. Lisa Ellis did an inlay. Yeah, Lisa Ellis did Starry Night out of Moorish Rose. Shit's insane. I don't even know how to do Moorish Rose, much less, you know, gonna attempt an inlay in it, but yeah, any sheet weave you can do an inlay with. So August Grappin of the Chain Nerd did an inlay in Hoodoo Hex on stream the other day. And by the other day, I mean sometime within the last 6 months. I don't remember when it was I saw him working on it, but I think I've tried Moorish Rose once, like way long time ago. I have a pattern. It's probably going to be one of those that I end up doing a digital project with it first before I finish a physical item with it. So I would definitely like to do a bottle wrap in Moorish Rose. And the Celtic Vision sheet on the tapestry behind me, right? I would like to do a bottle wrap in one of those too. All right. But up next is this Byzantine weave I'm going to try and do. Similar to the Byzantine hexagons, the interwoven Byzantine hexagons that I did for my last coffee cup wrap. So, but that ended up, it's, I mean, you can definitely use it, but the cup itself is so large it doesn't really fit in any coffee cup holder except the one in my truck. And since I drive the work car all the time, I don't ever get to use it. I've got one of the mistakes. It's a 32-ounce tumbler, 32-ounce coffee cup, that the print did not come out right on it. I have two of them that I was, trying to experiment with products that would let me see if I could sell it on my store, right? And it turns out I could not. So I have to readjust the design and try again, or I may not just be able to carry that product. So I really want the tumblers back in the store because I think they're awesome and I think people like them. And regular coffee cups and t-shirts and regular hoodies. I just have to, it's going to be me sitting down and forcing myself to stop everything else that I'm doing and focus exclusively on getting products loaded into the store, right? Because I have all the previous designs that I made. The company I was working with just was not up to par. So the one I already work with them on some products, but the one I'm working with now is pretty good. Should be fine. Shouldn't be an issue after I sit down and re-upload all those designs. And some of those designs were pretty boring. I do want to improve upon them. So I do need to sit down and do that. Lots of website work this year. Website work, chainmail shirt, regular work, and then getting all of this stuff cleaned up down here. All right, we got one row done. I guess I'll just adjust. Ooh. My tummy gurgled and that was really loud. I hope that wasn't picked up by the microphone. What is that alien sound coming from his stream? Alright. So we'll get some packages in. That'll be nice. Finish up those other projects. Get them out of the way. Then finish this Raiders flag. Gotta get the ring order for the shirt that I accepted the commission on. And then We'll just have to get one thing done at a time and figure out what we can get done with what we have. What's up, Justin? How you doing, buddy? Have you seen the almost finished product that I'm sending you? Cool design. It's a Raiders flag. It's for a buddy of mine back in Idaho. We've got the dye and sealant on the way, so we can finish your wine bottle holster and ship it to you. So it's almost done, but then the challenge will be getting me to a post office, so it should arrive this year. I've got a package I've got to go send to the post office for Christmas. Oh, well, no, not tomorrow. We're having a snowstorm. It's going to be freezing rain in the morning, followed by 3 to 5 inches of snow in the afternoon. So definitely won't be going to the post office tomorrow. Maybe Friday. It's one of those things that I have to force myself to do. I despise going to the post office. You're seriously late for the party? Well, hey Josh, how you doing, buddy? It's alright to be late. It's fashionable to be late. We're just working on this Raiders flag here, getting some... expanding the top of the helmet to an appropriate height for the helmet. It really pops off his head in the picture. Try and make it look a little bit more like that. So now the face is pretty much done. We might tweak a thing or two here and there. We're going to finish this helmet and get that looking good. And then we'll do the sabers, and then we'll put the word Raiders on it, and we'll make it hangable. And then one day I will eventually make it to the post office and ship it to my friend. Alright, we are gonna oops. Put that ring in there too soon. You know, I gotta be honest, it really is kind of a weight lifted off my shoulders thinking that if I keep doing what I'm doing, just by coming down here and streaming, right, the amount of rings that I have here will probably be gone. All these old projects will probably be finished. I will have a lot more stuff done. Just, you know, simply by sitting down and forcing myself to work on stuff. Right? Not that I don't want to work on these projects, but, you know, I did avoid them for a long time. So, thanks for the like, Sarah. How you doing tonight? Alright. I think we're going to do this and then one more row of black across the top. That'll kind of give us some perspective on how tall this helmet is up off this guy's face. Oh, what am I doing? Goodness gracious. I really need to pay attention to what pile of rings I'm grabbing from. That's twice. In 3 rows, twice I've put the wrong ring in here. There we go. At least that was only 3 rings. You got your second COVID shot this morning? Right on. I hope you feel okay. Yeah, and then I can work on new pieces and get new rings and new projects, and I won't have this overflow of stuff just sitting here for no reason other than, you know, I just haven't done anything with it. Which means experimentation and, you know, fun stuff like that. Getting custom rings. A little poopy, but you're sure you'll feel better tomorrow? Right on. Just need to sleep. Yeah. Yep, rest up. Renee got her second shot. Her first and second shot wiped her out. 3 days both times. But I guess people are having that reaction to the, not the Moderna one, the other one, whatever the company's called. So on her third day, she was feeling much better. Just a little achy. First shot was fine, just like a heavy punch in the arm. This one's giving you a bit of a reaction. Yeah. Alright, I want to buy a welder. It's one of those things that, like, I can't stop thinking about. So I think I'm going to try and do that this year, a ring welder. Mostly it's just some mild chills and aches. Wife got her second shot yesterday. Spent today laying in bed. So you get to take care of her. Good man, Josh. I'm just waiting for all this crap to be over. The Department of Health Services here in Wisconsin had zero plan for rolling out how to vaccinate everybody. Despite the vaccine coming out in late November, early December, they have yet to initiate any kind of official, like, rollout plan. And so I think something like 6% of all the vaccinations we received, which is, I don't know, I don't remember the number, but it was a decent amount. I'm trying to think here. I'm sure you could look it up, right? It was a large number. 6 figures, maybe 7, I don't remember, of vaccines that we had here. And they've administered less than 6% because I guess there was a lot of discussion over what qualified you to get a vaccine first. And it wasn't being elderly. That one, apparently being elderly and being at risk for having serious complications from COVID-19 did not qualify you for receiving the vaccine, which is weird to me. So maybe they'll get it straightened out, but if it's anything like the unemployment system that we had here in Wisconsin, we had some 800,000 people on the unemployment list, and the secretary who managed, the deputy secretary or whatever their governmental position was, who managed the unemployment here, stepped down, and they hired Google to come in and clear everyone off the unemployment list inside of a week. So I just want a spot welder for, hey, thanks for the like, Linda. I want a spot welder for making welded chainmail for jewelry and for armor and for making quality pieces moving forward. So, oh, and the committee that is deciding what prerogative people get when they join the line to get the vaccine, right? What priority people get when they go to get the vaccine. The committee that decides where everyone falls is on a break for I don't know how long. They said, we'll just take a break. It's fine. A pulse arc or resistance welder. All right, Sarah, have a good night. But hopefully they get it under control. And they figure out who's going to get their vaccines soon. I'm just, I'm not going to hold my breath. Feel better, Sarah. Pulse arcs are great for below 18 gauge, resistant for 18 and thicker. Okay. I guess I'll need one of each. I have to look into it more to really know what I want and need. There's a lot of stuff that I'd like to implement this year that hopefully will help expand my skill set. And, help me make better quality stuff. Hey Kevin, how you doing? In an ideally well-funded world, I would have 2 welders. Yeah. Yeah, in an ideally well-funded world, I would have a very large square foot shop that had floor space for all of the fun tools that I want to have access to, so that I could just go out and make whatever I want, whenever I want. And also, I would have the time to go out and use them. Maybe one day. You need to get your own ass in gear and start using them more. Along with all the tools you'll have for making mail and your forge. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, don't work yourself to death, but if you've got the stuff, man, definitely use it. In an ideal world, we'd all get paid for our artwork. Not have to hold a real job to pay the bills. You'd be doing riveted mail right now if you just got off your butt. Yeah. High quality riveted mail is a precious, precious thing, I think. Not a lot of people do it at all. I have zero expectations of ever being able to live off what I make. Advice from an old fart, do not wait until retirement. Yeah, no. Nope. You've got so much to do, you'll never die. If I can get MailleWerX to to become a reliable stream of income, I would like to sell a lot of that stuff, but I have no desire to physically make enough chainmail to make a living. Yeah. I've got a lot to do. I could get it all done if I had time, Like, what is this? We're an hour 15. And we already missed one stream this week, so It's I need to get stuff done so that I can prioritize getting this, these things done, so that I can work on streams of income, so that, you know, eventually I'll have a giant workshop with all the fun toys in it and hire out to people who do custom work for indifferent medias and have them all centrally located so that we can make multimedia pieces, and you know what I mean? My buddy did that down in Texas for a while, and I never got to join in. I think I was in school at the time. I would much rather be like working in a shop with a bunch of different people, different crafters and artisans who make stuff, you know? That sounds like way more fun. Alright, I'm gonna give you some space to view this here. Okay. There's the face, right? And one of the issues is that the helmet was too small, too low on his head, right? So you tell me, right? It's gonna come out some more, right? And then go down to frame the face more like the picture, right? But you see that helmet like just jumps up off his head before coming down to the face, right? So I think that that's enough height, and then from here we can go down and around and make everything else. Arthritis in both knees, placing into early retirement. You are not ready for this, but you want to learn as much as you can. You weren't ready to learn as much as you can about what you can do in retirement. You keep promoting MailleWerX on your live stream. I do appreciate it, bro. My products are awesome. Thank you. You love make mail and enjoy anodizing and other aspects enough to offer supplies for others. Heck yeah. What I do is beyond you. What I do is just a culmination of knowledge. It took me 5 years to even be able to start MailleWerX, right? And that was combining the resources of many years of gaining knowledge in way different areas that have nothing to do with chainmail, and then combining them together into my store, right? Ow. So, oh. Let's see here. Alright. Okay, so for the third time tonight, I mixed the wrong rings in with the wrong rings. That one I'm just gonna have, I can't fish those out. Alright, so I think that is a good starting point for the helmet, right? And then we'll go down from here. And this saber will be moved out of the way a little bit, and this whole piece is just gonna get ridiculously enormous, and I'm already looking at buying more rings for it. But he's got a gorgeous face, right? He's really a handsome guy. I can see why there are Raiders fans out there in the world. With that said, we are 20 minutes over tonight. So thank you everyone who hung out. I do appreciate it. Your comments and support and reaction and interaction with me really make this time go by fast, and I'm really getting a lot done, and so I can't thank you enough for being here. If you want to see more of this in the future, go to MailleWerX.com, get yourself something nice, right? You got friends and family that have birthdays and celebrations coming up, right? And everybody loves chainmail. They really do. Maybe not everybody, but they should. We're going to make chainmail a global phenomenon, and I can't do it without your help. So, Thank you for everyone being here tonight. I do appreciate it. I will talk to you guys tomorrow or at the latest Friday. All right? I want all of you to have a good night. If you're in my area, stay safe tomorrow in the snowstorm, and I will talk to you all of you guys later. Have a good night. Bye.